What if the reason you stopped answering calls isn't because you're broken, but because you finally woke up? They say we're in a loneliness epidemic. 1 in 4 adults feel completely isolated. But you chose this. You saw their name on your screen. And you put the phone down. And the strangest part? You don't miss them. You feel free. Section 1. You weren't always like this. There was a version of you that answered every call, kept every peace, absorbed every problem. You were the reliable one. The 2 a.m. friend. The person people leaned on, until there was nothing left of you to lean on. And then one day, you just stopped picking up. The world didn't end. It got quieter. And quiet felt like medicine. Reason 1. Your body made the decision before your mind did. Here's what most people don't know. You didn't choose to pull away. Your nervous system did. Psychologist Dr. Stephen Porges calls it the Polyvagal Theory. When your body detects that people are consistently draining you, it doesn't wait for permission. It shuts down. It withdraws. It protects. Not because you're broken. Because you've been pushed past your limit too many times. Your body was keeping score. Even when you weren't. Reason 2, you learned this as a child. But here's the part most people miss. Your nervous system didn't learn this last year. It learned this when you were a child. Maybe you grew up scanning your parents' face the second they walked through the door. Trying to read the room before anyone spoke. Learning that love and chaos came together. Psychologist Murray Bowen called it emotional cutoff. When a child learns that closeness always costs something. So you adapted? You built walls before you even knew what walls were. And now, as an adult, the moment someone gets too close, something in you says, "Not again." That's not weakness. That's a blueprint you drew to survive. Reason 3, you're not paranoid. You're perceptive. And this changes everything. People think you're cold because you cut others off quickly. But the truth? You're just paying attention. Studies show that people who experienced early emotional stress develop a heightened ability to detect social threats. Your brain got really good at reading people, because it had to. That friend who only calls when they need something? You spotted it by month 2. That family member whose compliments always come with conditions. You saw their pattern years ago. That person who love bombs you, then vanishes? You felt it before the cycle even finished. You're not paranoid. You're not too sensitive. You are processing people at a level most never reach. And when your gut says this person will drain you, you've learned to trust it. Reason 4, being alone and being lonely are not the same. Here's a word most people confuse. Isolation is the absence of connection you want. Solitude is the presence of peace you chose. Yes, studies show prolonged social isolation raises the risk of heart disease and stroke. That's real. But here's what nobody talks about. Toxic relationships damage your body just as much. Chronic stress. Elevated cortisol. Disrupted sleep. A shrinking sense of self. So the question was never, do I need people? The question is, which people deserve to be near me? Walls block everyone. Boundaries protect your peace. If cutting someone off brought you relief, that's data. If it brought you peace, that's not isolation. That's self-preservation. Reason 5, science says, 1 real connection beats 100 hollow ones. Harvard ran the longest happiness study in history. 75 years. Thousands of people. You know what they found? Not wealth. Not popularity. Not a full social calendar. The people who thrived had a few deep, real, genuine relationships. That's it. So if your circle is small, but those people actually see you, show up without agenda, and leave you feeling more like yourself, you're not doing it wrong. You're doing it exactly right. You didn't become distant overnight. You became selective. After being drained too many times. After giving everything and getting silence back. After learning that being the reliable one meant being used. You're not cold. You're not heartless. You're not incapable of love. You're someone who finally decided, My peace is not up for negotiation. And that is one of the quietly fiercest things a person can do. The people who don't understand will call you isolated, withdrawn, too much. Let them. Because you know the truth. You're not running away from people. You're running toward yourself. Toward a life that feels gentle instead of chaotic. Toward a version of you that finally has room to breathe. That's not isolation. That is sanctuary. Before you go, I want to ask you something real. What made you start distancing yourself from people? Was it betrayal? Exhaustion? Or just clarity? Tell me in the comments. Because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. And if this video felt like something you needed, share it with someone who's been quiet lately. They probably need this more than they'll admit. Follow for more content that speaks to the version of you most people never see.